This spring, my good friend Janine came down for an in-person business mastermind. We spent a lot of time talking about business and reflecting on some of the coaching we have been doing. We decided to record a couple of podcast episodes on some of the topics we were talking about. This episode is one of those. Welcome to the Stay at Home Nurse Podcast. I'm your host, Deanna Cooper Gillingham. For over 25 years, I've strived to use my nurse credentials to find work that fit my lifestyle. Whether it was raising my 4 children and 3 fur babies, traveling the world, or moving to Mexico and living on the Caribbean Sea. Sometimes I succeeded and sometimes I failed, but I always learned from the experience. Now, I want to help you by sharing what worked and what didn't work. There are so many opportunities out there for nurses today. The Stay at Home Nurse Podcast will inspire and equip you to have a nursing career that is meaningful and supports your lifestyle. Now let's get started.
All right. So today, Deanna and I are going to be talking about our online businesses, a online business, and why it's the best type of lifestyle business. So she and I both were just talking about this before we recorded on the parts that we want to really focus on. But I'm going to start with a little background on me. Freelance writer, right? That's what I started with. Now I've grown an agency with nurses and their writers, and I work with clients and we deliver written content to them essentially. My favorite thing about having an online business as my lifestyle business is that I have absolutely no set schedule. Do I make a set schedule? In a sense, I have to. When my kids go to school, my husband's at work, that is my work time essentially. But I'm here in Mexico today with Deanna recording, and it is 6:04 p.m. right now. And we're done with our day swimming and whatnot. So we decided, let's do some podcast recording. So that's our schedule today. So just the no set schedule for me, it's so flexible, and I can even go into that point, but I know that's one of your favorite things, Deanna. So I'm going to pass this mic over to you.
Yeah. So first, let's back up just a little bit and talk about what a lifestyle business is, because everybody may not know what that is. And so Janine and I, it's not like we invented this, but we decided that we had lifestyle businesses because lifestyle is so important to us. And when both of us created our businesses, we created our lifestyle first. What do we want our life to look like? And then we built a business around that. So that's what we mean when we talk about lifestyle business. And yes, that freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it is extremely beneficial in having a lifestyle business. So Janine's background is really interesting in how she did it. And I think you could probably go a little more details into that about exactly how you ended up taking, how did you decide what your lifestyle was going to look like and how your business was going to fit that?
So I always go back to my 3 F's: family, freedom, financial. And my family was always number one. So that's how I started. Was I knew I needed a second job because I needed something PRN, but I knew I needed to be with my family more. So that's how I stumbled upon freelance writing. And then freedom came later. And that was, freedom to work when I want, freedom to go where I want, freedom to not work every other weekend if I don't want to, whatever that looks like. And then financial, obviously it needed to support us financially. And as much as I could think of a hobby I like that doesn't make money, and I could put the same amount of hours in work and the freedom, it still has to make me money. So that's why writing isn't a hobby for me. It is a business. So that's kind of how I started. It was always my family first. But I'll say over time, things have changed. Now I go back to more of the freedom side is my favorite thing right now. Not that I don't love my family, but it's part of our life now. We get to travel a lot more than we ever were able to when I was at the bedside full time by far. I mean, we've done so much more than we ever have because of my lifestyle business. How about you, Deanna, with lifestyle business? What's your favorite thing about yours?
It is definitely the independence of being able to do what I want, when I want, from where I want. And, that's why we chose online businesses for a lifestyle business. If Janine and I would have done something like concierge nursing or IV infusion centers or a lot of the other things that are coming up right now, not that there is anything wrong with that, that just wouldn't have fit my lifestyle of being able to get up in the morning and saying, do I feel like kayaking or do I feel like writing? And knowing that I can do both in the day, but I could choose what I wanted to do when I wanted. So if I wake up and it's raining, guess what? I'm probably going to write first. And then when it clears up, because it doesn't rain all day here, I'm going to go out and kayak later. But if I wake up and it's a beautiful day and I want to go out and kayak while the sun's rising, I can do that and know I can do my writing later. So this type of business allows us to do that. That is probably my favorite thing.
But I want to tag on to say it's not for everyone. A lot of people need told what to do, where to go, when to do things. And you have to be a person that doesn't need told what to do, because if you just want to kayak all day long, you might not have a business because you decided to kayak all day long. And I also want to tag on to the fact of what we were just talking about before we hit the record button. And that was my son, Zach, is in hip hop dance. And those of you out there that might have children in competitions, you'll note that there's a lot of times that it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event, and you have to be there Friday in the middle of the day. So you have to usually have off work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And in the nursing world, that's very, very hard to do, because now you're going to have to work like 2 weekends in a row or whatever. Whereas I can just finish up what I need to do Thursday as much as I can, grab my laptop, hit the road, work on the road, or work in the hotel room as much or as little as I want to while he is doing his competition time. So that's what I love about it too, is I can take it wherever I want to.
Yes, and I can take it wherever I want to too, because I see so many, like I'm in a lot of Facebook groups and people say, I want to live abroad, or I'm going to Europe because my husband's in the service or whatever. And they want to know what kind of a job can they get as a nurse outside of the US. And honestly, when I looked at that, I didn't see any. So I was like, well, I'll just start my own business. And then I can work wherever I want, whenever I want. So as most people know, I live in Mexico. I choose to live on the Caribbean Sea because I like to look out and see water. And I couldn't do that if I was working for another company. Even when I was working from home as a case manager, you had to live within the United States. Janine and I both love to travel. When we want to decide we want to travel at the last minute, even if we have something on the schedule, we can still do it from wherever. It doesn't have to be done from any particular location. So have we beat location independence into the ground?
I think so.
So another thing is automation. So with an online business, it's really easy to automate things. And as much as I think I'm good at automating things, Janine is the queen of automation. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit more about this one.
So I have tried to figure out an automation for every single thing I do. So not because I'm lazy, but so I can move it away from it's free delegation is exactly what it is, because a tool does it for you. One of my favorite things to automate right now is within the platform I use called ClickUp. It's a project management tool. And if you've never used ClickUp or any project management tool, you should, because it's easier than an EMR. Like if you can use your hospital's electronic medical record, you can use some sort of project management software. And I think that's what I also love about online business. It's so up to date. Like everything is actually what it's supposed to do and be and whatever in this day and age in 2022. And that's, again, off on a tangent, another thing I love. But a thing I'm doing inside my business right now for automation is it automatically puts our template of an assignment for a writer. As long as I move the status from to do to assigned, it automatically puts in the whole template, all my attachments, all the instructions, and everything with one click of a button. Best thing ever. How about you? What are you doing, Deanna?
I love that, because when I went from nursing to this business and I saw all the automations that could happen, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. So the easiest automation, I think, just for people starting off to realize is, if you don't know this already, when you sign up for an email, we're not sitting there and writing an email and sending it out to you. There's something called email automation, and it is a wonderful thing. So basically, if you go to my website and you say, yes, I want to learn about your free resources to become a certified case manager, you're going to put your name in and automatically an email is going to go out with more information, and not just one, but a whole series that I wrote them once and they go out. And I can tell you that we have sent hundreds of thousands of emails, and I did not have to write hundreds of thousands of emails for that automation to happen. And our sales funnels are automated. So if you click on one of those emails and you're like, yes, I want to buy your book, you can click a button and buy it. And then you're automatically sent to the sales page, and then you automatically put your information in. And I automatically get a little ding on my phone that says I made a sale. And when I'm out on my kayak and I make a sale, I feel like I've had a really good kayaking day.
Oh, and then with email automation, like even today, it's Sunday. I knew on Wednesday, when we got here to Mexico, that I was going to forget on Sunday to send an email to a few writers that weekly need to give me their hours of expected hours that they're going to work on a client project. Every week I send out this email, but I knew on Sunday I was going to forget. So I scheduled that email to be sent out to those individuals on Wednesday. And guess what? I started getting replies this morning. Oh, my hours this week is this. I'm like, oh, good. They got it, because I forgot.
And going back to that EMR thing, the great thing about having your own business is you get to pick which software you want to use. So if you've ever been in the position where you got that email that says, oh, guess what? We're going to start using this software, and we're going to have an implementation schedule, and this is where you have to go and learn it, and this is when you have to be here, and it's mandatory because we're going live on this date. Guess what? When you have your own business, you get to pick which ones you're using, when you're going live with it, when you want to learn it, all that good stuff. So that's just a kind of a bonus.
And no more, do you want to be a super user? No, I want to be your super user. And you don't have to sit through the 4-hour training on your day off. And now you need to find a babysitter because it's somehow July when they decided to go live. Now you have no sitter. Been there, done that. Glad that doesn't exist anymore.
And if the thought of setting all this up scares the bejesus out of you, don't worry, because you don't have to. You can actually hire people that will set it all up for you, and you just make sure that, it is doing what you tell them. I need it to do this, 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 and this, and they will help you with that.
And if you don't have the money to have someone delegate it and pay someone to do it, I tell you, there are so many tutorials either on YouTube, Google, or within the platform itself to hold your hand and guide you step by step for you to do it. You're not going to find that on EMR.
So Janine, what do we tell our clients when we say, oh, you should probably try this software, you should probably try this email service provider, and they say, how do I learn it? What is our famous words?
YouTube it.
Because believe me, we do not know everything, and they're constantly making updates. And even us, again, we go back to that just-in-time learning that we've talked about on previous podcasts. It's like just-in-time learning. I need to know how to do this right now. I don't need to know. I didn't need to learn it 6 months ago. I need to know how to do it now. So I'm going to Google it, go to YouTube it, and there will be a video guaranteed. There'll be multiple videos to tell me exactly how to do it.
And my favorite thing is when ClickUp comes up with their new additions to ClickUp. And I'm like, oh my God, is there another automation coming? Is there another automation? Let me open this email and check.
Yes, we geek out about that kind of stuff. I use something a little bit different, and they just made a big update the other day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get in there and update all my dashboards. And yes, we're nerdy.
You gotta be a little nerdy. You gotta be.
Okay. So, another reason why an online business makes a perfect lifestyle business is there's no restrictions geographically to the people that can be your clients. So again, if you have a brick and mortar, like a day spa or an aesthetic spa or something like that, your clients have to be within a certain radius that they're willing to drive to get to your place. With these online businesses, your clients can literally be anywhere in the world. You can have a client anywhere in the world. So when we went, we talked before in a previous episode about niching. And so when you niche down really small, you think, well, there's not as many people. But when you open yourself up to the whole entire world, you're going to find that there is more than enough people that need the service or product that you are providing for them. Janine.
Yeah. And I speak from experience that I have clients in Australia, in the UK, and in the US. So it's pretty cool too when you get a client like that. You're like, my company is now global. I serve everyone in the world.
So, Janine, we went through all my list. I want to know, do you have anything else on your list, or are we going to be able to end early with this episode?
So I think I kind of touched on it when we talked about, having to be in the meeting for 4 hours that you weren't planning on doing on your day off because now your system's going live. And that's my no boss to tell you when you have to show up to things. So even these scheduled meetings I have with clients for content strategy or reviewing things, if I can't do it one day, we just go, hey, I can't do it this day. Will this day work? It's like the most simple thing in the world. And I don't feel guilty. And if I couldn't make my boss happy, or if it's like you had to come up with some excuse like that you can't come there other than you don't have a babysitter, but like you really don't have a babysitter because your babysitter isn't going to come for 4 hours, if your kid goes to daycare or whatever, and you have to come up with some excuse. I don't have to come up with excuses. It is what it is. If I can't do something because I'm in Mexico, I'm going to switch it till the next week and the world doesn't fall apart because we're not going live.
Which I love that because it's such a different feeling when, you have your internal things that you want to do and your internal deadlines and all this. But at the end of the day, if something's not done, nobody's going to die. Nobody is going to die because you didn't get that email sent out that you wanted to send out today and it goes out tomorrow instead, which it's a different mindset of what we're used to. And I think it's one of the reasons why nurses make such good entrepreneurs is because we have such high standards of we got to get this done because when things are important, things are life and death, but we have to kind of know that we can breathe a little bit with our lifestyle business because it is a lifestyle business and we want to have a great lifestyle.
So let's wrap it up with some action steps here. So I think action steps on this episode, we kind of gave you more tips or the whys, but I think to walk away from this episode, I want you to think about the business that you're thinking about starting, if it's a writing business or anything else, and hopefully a service-based, I always say to kind of start with, even if it is a course or something like Deanna did with writing a book and then marketing that, you have to think about, is this what I want in my life? Think about your life. And this is not something you can just go, oh, okay, at the end of this episode, I'm going to know what my life is going to look like. Sit down, think about what do you want your life to look like? And if you have a partner, talk about it with them because their life might not look like your life. And you want to make sure you're on the same page there because if my husband was not willing to travel as much as I do, there might be problems. And you too, Deanna.
Yeah, and it can be a problem when all of a sudden one partner can and the other one is still stuck at that job. So there are some definite things to think about. But the first thing is I want you to realize that a lifestyle business, it's a lifestyle business. Notice that the word lifestyle becomes before business. And that's because no matter what your lifestyle is, yes, I chose to move to a different country and live a very different lifestyle than Janine has chosen. I'm a plane ride away from all of my family. And Janine is around the corner from all of her family. But yet we have such different lifestyle businesses, but yet they fit each of our lifestyle. My business would not fit her lifestyle and her business would not fit other way around, whatever I'm saying. But you understand what I'm saying. It's not about us trying to tell you what the perfect lifestyle business is. It's that what we're trying to say is think about your lifestyle, dream. There's a saying, if you can think it and you believe it, you will conceive it. But you have to first dream it. You have to dream it, believe it, conceive it. You have to dream. And so, maybe that's our action step today. Just dream what you would like your lifestyle to look. And it doesn't have to be on the beach in Mexico. It can be to live next to your family, but to have more time to spend with them, to not have to go into a boss every day. Or maybe you do want to leave the house every day and you want to go to a co-working space. That's okay too. It's your lifestyle.
If you enjoyed this episode with Janine, let us know. Shoot me an email to hello@thestayathome-nurse.com. I have more episodes in this series, so be on the lookout and be sure to hit the bookmark to subscribe so you'd never miss an episode. Adios from beautiful Puerto Aventuras, Mexico.